Welcome back to another episode of the Startup Junkies podcast. My name is Victoria Dickerson, and I'm joined by my co-hosts Jeff Amrine and Caleb Talley. How are you guys?
Doing great. Glad to be here.
Can't complain.
Good.
Drinking bourbon on we won't say what time.
We will not say what time.
It's daylight.
It's daylight.
Thanks for showing up, Caleb.
Glad to be here.
made it.
Glad to make it.
Yeah.
We're happy to be joined by Deric Calhill. He's the founder of Wicked Bold Chocolate, all the way from Dallas, Texas. He made the drive up. Deric, thanks for being here.
Absolutely. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, we're glad you're here. So give us the origin story. This is now your third time on the show. So give us a recap of Wicked Bold Chocolate, how you ended up in Dallas, and why you're here in Fayetteville.
Okay, 3 questions. I'm going to try to remember the
And
third
we'll
one.
get your measurements for your third time jacket.
Thank you.
Yeah.
For the green
is that
jacket.
right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
The
I
merch,
appreciate that.
the merch gets
I need
better
some.
and better.
All right. So how did I start Wicked Bold Chocolate? I am just a lifelong entrepreneur. Side hustle. I think I'm more a side hustler than an entrepreneur. I just love like tinkering with all sorts of little things. And 4 years ago, we moved to Dallas because of a job, a full-time tech sales job. And my wife had kind of nudged me a bit. She was like, "It's been a while since you've started a business. You're losing your touch." She said that. She said, "You're losing your edge," I think. I was getting comfortable. I was making all this money, and I was turning into just a corporate man baby. And I was like, "Fine, fuck it. Let's start a chocolate company." And literally, like, we were spinning a chocolate machine on our kitchen counter before we had a couch in our living room. Like, that's how we ordered it on Amazon. It was like $250, and we just started spinning chocolate.
Why chocolate, though?
So my wife loves chocolate.
Okay.
And I love starting businesses.
Okay.
And she at the time was dairy free. And it was like ridiculous. Like, you could not find a chocolate that didn't use dairy as an emulsifier. So we decided, well, fuck it. We'll start it.
Mm-hmm.
And so we just kind of like started taking stabs at it. We almost started it in 2017, but just it wasn't, in retrospect, just obviously it wasn't the right time. So we landed in Texas and said, let's rock and roll. Let's make the chocolate. And for like 4 months, we just spun that machine until we got it right. And then started just giving it away to people and selling it at farmers markets. And now I'm here with you fine people for the third time. I think episode number 1 was like maybe right after I started the chocolate company.
It was early days.
Yeah, and then
probably right in the middle of the pandemic, right?
Yeah, I think it was
2020?
it was either late 2020 or early 2021. And then I think I came back again when we launched Whole Foods. And now here I am again because you guys invited me to come speak at one of your startup conferences at that whatever the coffee shop name was.
Arcegas.
Arcegas.
Yeah, Arcegas
And then
Mill District.
and now we've just launched, since our last episode, we're in Walmart nationwide, and we just launched Sprouts nationwide.
That's
So
awesome.
You guys have been a part of
Congrats.
the journey.
Nice.
Yeah, tell us about the name, Wicked Bold. So wicked is a term that's used frequently in Dallas, right? When you're out
Boston.
wrangling
Yeah,
those
exactly.
cows, right? You're
That's
like,
a wicked
That's
steer.
a wicked steer.
A wicked fucking steer. Yeah. So I'm from Boston, and the adjective wicked is just a universal adjective in Boston. You use it. It's wicked cold out, wicked hot out. That chocolate's wicked good. It's just a very, very easy adjective to use. And then bold is an acronym for my family. It's we're on film. We got the B is for my wife, Brooklyn. O for Ophelia, my daughter. L for Landon. I'm Deric. And then we had a baby after we started the company, and we have a registered trademark for Wicked Bold. And our son's name, we named him Rowan, not to fit into the business, but it did work out that he's our registered trademark, our little baby R.
Perfect.
So now you're Wicked Bolder, huh?
You know,
Ooh.
when we found out that we were
You
going
can use
to
that.
have a baby,
Okay.
the family that was the first question. It was like, what are you going to do with the business name? It's like, I'm not naming our fucking baby after our chocolate business, bro. That was the first question. What are you going to do with the business?
That's hilarious.
What? No. But we actually walked into Whole Foods one day when we first launched, and I was telling her, oh, we just had a baby. His name's Rowan. And she was the person that was like, oh, he could fit into the little registered trademark. I was like, thank you. Here we are.
There you go.
That's
It was on
amazing.
purpose. You'll tell him it was on purpose all
Yeah,
along.
absolutely. I didn't want to give him a complex of like, sorry, bro.
Yeah.
You were too late. The brand was already set.
You actually ruined us. You were the downfall. Thanks to nothing, bud.
So you chose chocolate. So kind of boiling that down, you said your wife loved chocolate, but she was dairy free. Is that the primary reason? I mean, is that like, just not being able to find the chocolate that she needed, and so trying to like bridge that gap, meet a need?
Yeah, I mean, I think at the core, yeah. I mean, the other thing is we're like huge ingredient readers, like label, like we flip it around and we don't buy like shit food. Artificial flavor. It's all marketing bullshit, which I fucking hate, man, that it's crazy that we live in America. Like, the free market, and marketing is so free to do whatever the fuck you want with. Like, you can say whatever you want and put it on the front of the package. And honestly, we are so dumb, we just believe it. Like, it takes until it's like, oh, actually, that causes cancer, like aggressively. The people are like, oh, let's pull it off the shelves. Like, but it takes until you get there. Like all these food colors that are in food, like red and yellow, it fucks with your kids' brains, and it just. Sorry, let me chill. We read ingredients, and a lot of chocolate was being made. Like mainstream chocolate had like corn syrups in it, or artificial flavors, artificial ingredients, and it just was bullshit. Because chocolate is just such a simple food, and we decided like we can probably go and make it simple. And I think I credit it because neither of us come from food, so we're not like immersed in this like, you know, crazy ingredient world. Like we were so simple going into it, we just believed that we could do it.
Stuff you can understand.
Yeah, just like
and when you did that, chocolate. It's on trend, right? It's on trend. So you look at RX bars, which is not good chocolate, but it is good meal alternative and very simple ingredients. Yep. There's no chemistry set ingredients on there at all.
Yeah, I don't know what the ingredients are in it, but I trust you, and I'll now
take my word for it. Take my word for
it. For this episode.
Yeah, take my word for it.
Now sponsored by.
There's no chemistry set stuff on there.
Yeah, you know, it's one of the things that still sticks in my head. I was at the airport one time, and there was a big like water bottle vending machine from like Dasani, I think it was, and in huge letters it said, I think it said 100% recyclable, but then I noticed an asterisk. And I get real fucking close to the screen. It was like, except the cap and the label. It's like, all right, bitch, then it's not 100% recyclable. How is this allowed?
Yeah.
Like, because you are then relying on people to go find the tiniest little words. It's like you can say whatever you want.
Right. Read the fine print.
Yeah, and we just, you know, I'm obviously like very, you know, entrepreneurial and capitalistic, and I love making money. But I don't love making money so much that I'd like bring my value system down in order to do it. I was actually having a conversation with one of my other buddies that runs a startup called Funky Mellow, which is really cool. It's a plant-based marshmallow cream. And we were having this conversation about, is there such a thing as an ethical billionaire? Like, can you become a billionaire legit? Like without ever fucking someone or cutting corners or doing, like, is it possible? And I don't know if it is. Like, I guess TBD. Maybe I'll be the first one. But it was an interesting conversation.
Man, do it. Somebody needs to take that title.
Yeah, why? Is it even possible? Like, can you make that?
Well, it's kind of like
that much money. You have to fuck someone at some point.
So you're saying Google actually did some evil along the way?
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
Do you know evil? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they did some evil. Depends on your point of view.
I think you just get to the point where, I mean, you make the. I mean, I can attest. Like Wicked Bold, like we've been in some pretty tight spots. And it does that perspective shifts in of like, would I be willing to do X, Y, and Z to fix it?
Right.
And I'd love to say like no 100%. I mean, I haven't to date, but you know, you never. It's just crazy, like what you'd be willing to do to like save your company or grow your company. So I can see, like, I can see where along the line you could have some like morality erode and justify it. It's like, oh, I'm sure that like even the shittiest person can justify why they do what they do.
Oh, they tend to be great at rationalizing.
Yeah, like I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Jesse Itzler. He started Coconut Water. He's married to
sure.
What's not Blake Lively? Who's the lady that started Spanx? What's her name?
Sarah
Blakely.
Yeah.
Jesse Itzler is such a cool dude. I've never met him or anything, but I follow him on social media, and he has this open challenge to, I think, the CEO of Kellogg or General Mills or something, to, I think, $100,000 he'll donate to any charity for a 15-minute conversation to talk through, like, why are you just like poison? Why are you putting so much bullshit in your cereal that you market to children? It's just a bowl of absolute bullshit.
Yep.
And
sugar and chemicals.
To date,
not even good sugar.
Yeah, to date, he's not taken him up on the offer to chat. And I think that's just the thing. It's like, especially when you get removed from being the founder and you just have some bullshit Harvard MBA that runs your company all of a sudden. And it all happened when shareholders started becoming the priority to businesses. When you go public or you take on investors, by law, you have a fiduciary responsibility to maximize profits by law. So when you are disconnected from who your customer is and you're no longer the founder that had the passion, all of a sudden it's numbers. How can we? It's not like, oh, we'll cut that corner, fuck people's health. It's, oh, we can get 2% better margins if we get this ingredient from this person. And it's like you turn your eyes a little bit. It's like it doesn't matter where it comes from, and I think that's where you get
ends justify the means.
I think what you're saying is that lawyers, accountants, and MBAs are Satan's creed. Is that what I'm hearing? Okay. Well, you heard it here first. Not to put words in your mouth.
No, put them in. No, it's true. I think you just get to the point where you're running for the money. And that's just the most poisonous place to be. And it's coming from someone that, like, I want to provide for my family and make sure that, like, we're all taken care of and my kids don't have to, like, be fucking hungry or anything.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's crazy to see how much profit gets prioritized when you're making billions of dollars a year. It's like those people should be the most accountable for feeding the masses of Americans in the world. But instead, those are the ones that buy politicians. And fucking lobby the government to not look at what we're doing. I think it's such bullshit. Did you guys know that this was going to be the podcast episode? Fuck the government.
This is a follow-on to the recent video rant you had how pissed off you are about having to sell your chocolate on TikTok in a video.
Yeah, talk a little bit about your social media strategy, how you market. You've got some very interesting videos.
And to that, give a little bit of the background of the fact that you were a stand-up comedian as well. I think that's a big part of the brand.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think it's actually funny because a lot of like my followers right now will be like, dude, you need to do stand up. It's like, bitch, how do you think I got here? like, because one of the things that I'm kind of known for, I don't do it a ton, but you guys, this is going to be shocking news to all of you, but there are like trolls that exist on the internet that like just live to try to break people down.
Sure.
Those are like, it's like a little piece of candy that I get to find when they comment on my videos. It's like, you do not know pain until you get on a microphone in front of a live audience and someone's talking shit to you or no one laughs. It's like, you cannot hurt me more than I have been already hurt. So I actually am on this crusade. And I was talking earlier about this at the coffee shop, and if I get off a tangent, remind me of what the fucking question was in the first place. But I'm on this crusade and like this mission to try to normalize to people that like those little pieces of shit that will try to knock you down on the internet are actually just like the biggest fucking cowards on the planet. It takes no confidence. It takes no work or energy to try to hurt someone. And back like forever ago, I was working at the cell phone job, and of all places to get an inspiring quote that I live by, it was this place. This lady gets up on the counter, this small little like 5'0" woman gets up on a counter. She invites a big dude. She says, "Hey, pull me down." And he just gives her a little tug, and she kind of, she doesn't like crash onto the floor, but calculated falls. And then she gets back up on the counter and says, "I'm gonna try to pull you up." And is pulling, and she cannot do it. And she's like, "You see how easy it is to pull someone down? It's really fucking hard, if not impossible, to pull someone up." And that's what these little bitches live. They thrive on it. That they're little bullshit comments. It's the reason I don't let my son, who's 14, on social media, because sometimes the comments do fuck with me a little bit. And I'm a 35-year-old, like relatively successful and very confident person, and sometimes those comments make. If I had to pick between fight or flight, I'm fucking fight all day. So when some little fucking cretin makes me feel weird, I just want to hit them. I want to hurt them, and I can't reach them. And there's nothing that I can do about it.
And the theory is these were always the oddballs that got their ass kicked on the playground, and now they got digital revenge.
They would never say this shit in real life, but they're so comfortable to be anonymous. And I take that, and instead, it's actually helped me learn quite a bit to use my I can be very lethal with my humor and like my wit. I'm sharp. I can get you. I can fuck you up. But I don't like it. I don't like giving people that hurt. It makes me feel bad. And I've noticed like I've sometimes made a video and I'll rewatch it. I'm like, damn, that's really fucking mean. And I won't post it. And it's helped me learn how to like deal with my emotions of retaliating back to someone. So now I just make them look fucking ridiculous. Like I do skits about them. Like one of the things that I do is if someone talks shit to me, I'm like, I'll read the comment for context of the video, and then I'll just go into an audition. I'll be like, for this role, I'll be auditioning for the role of whatever their username was, and I'll give some backstory. Like I just did one recently. This lady, I can't remember what her username was. Oh, what the fuck did she even say? I can't. Insert shitty comment. And I was like, for this role, I'm going to be auditioning for the role of this girl. For some backstory, she has very misplaced confidence. She thinks she's the bomb because she gets the highest food stamps check in her neighborhood, and she struts with that shit. She like buys that name brand bread, and she's fucking full of pride. And then I just go into the skit where I'm like smoking a Newport, and like, you little sorry, I gotta go. My fucking 4 kids got boogers running down their nose, and I gotta give them their sugar cereal for breakfast. And I make that who they are, and people fucking die. And I don't feel mean doing it because I'm just making up this false reality for this person. And it's fucking takes their power away to show them how absolutely unbothered I am by their comment. And that's kind of what I've created. Like, I'm just like the bully slayer. And I've gotten comments from people to be like, this is why I don't make videos, because I don't want people like that to unveil my insecurities in what I'm trying. Because you put yourself out there when you start a business, when you post a video, when you try to write a book, you're putting your like soul on the line that says, this is what I think I can be good at. And then you have some little fucking dickhole that's like, oh, you make fucking calendars, you're a bitch. As they're like fucking struggling in their mother's like guest bedroom, you know, it's like, go fuck yourself. No one successful is going to try to hurt someone else because they're too busy being fucking successful, right? It's those little bitches that exist that they probably get bullied every day, and then this is where they can find their power.
Dopamine hit.
You know, and I feel bad for them. I do. I truly, I started the word with this. They are cowards. And I think as the internet ages, that's going to be more and more prevalent that those people are just cowards. And I think eventually they might go away because their power is going to be sucked from them.
And you know, the thing I find myself doing, this time I spend on Twitter, or X as it's now called, is I just block the hell out of people that are like that. It's like, it's not that I want an echo chamber, but when someone is clearly in that camp, blocked.
They block me after I actually fucking savagery them.
They're dead. They're dead to me. So just block them. I don't need it.
I'll block them occasionally.
While we're talking about something that you've given mixed reviews on, is your own book. Talk about what compelled you to write Zero to Side Hustle, and what somebody that's new to starting a business can get out of this book.
Yeah. So that book was a culmination of like 15 years of taking notes on starting businesses. I've been starting little side hustles forever. And I just started keeping, originally my idea was to name the book Money Moons, which is so fucking lame. But I was thinking of like, you know, they kind of orbit Earth, right? And it's like, go find like little things to orbit you to like make a little bit of money. Like that was the general concept. But as I was, you know, evolving in my journey, and as like kind of the notes started coming together, it became like, just how do you start one side hustle? And I had all these notes. And I found myself going against the very like fabric of who I was, which was just go. Like if you're after perfection, first of all, you're never gonna fucking start anything because it's never gonna be perfect. And first of all, whatever you start, is gonna suck fucking horribly. It's gonna take you forever to evolve into something that's actually like cool. And I found myself with this book, with this like sloppy amount of notes, I was after perfection because it meant a lot to me. Like it did mean a lot to me to like give this experience that I'd taken of like absolutely failing like so many times and giving that to someone else at the very beginning of their journey to inspire them to go start something. So one day I think I had written maybe 15 pages and I sent it to my wife and I was like, is this good? And she messaged me back and she was like, this was fucking amazing. Because at the time she was trying to start a little side hustle, like trying to start, I don't think she makes sourdough. She does make sourdough, but I think that was her idea at the time. And she was like, this was so helpful. Like you have to fucking finish writing this. Cool. And in a day I took all my notes. I built a Word document. I think I finished the book in like 2 days. Took all my notes and I compressed it.
Did you self-publish?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Which is another really cool thing that I think a lot of people overlook is just go do that shit yourself, man. Like I just actually also wrote a children's book. And I got into again the same cycle of like perfection of like, oh, it's not properly fucking illustrated. I'll pitch it to some publishers thinking like, oh, look at me, I've already written one book, and it sat in a Word document for like 18 months. I'd written the book, sat in a Word document, and then the Dallas News wrote an article about us launching into Walmart. And for some reason, we made the cover page of the Dallas newspaper, which was so cool. And one teacher from an elementary school reached out and wanted me to come speak to her like fourth graders about just overcoming adversity and like starting businesses. And I was like, what the fuck am I going to talk to a bunch of fourth graders about? And so I'm building up this presentation that would be fun. I made it really fun for them. I put like this little hidden fox that would disappear off pages. And like I tasked them with like, hey, find the fox when it disappears. And I was like, wait, I wrote a book like for children. And I just printed up like 20 copies and I gave it to them and I read it to them at the end and they were laughing. They were having so much fun. It's called Have You Ever Had a Silly Idea? And it's this book for kids. It's like, don't let people put your flame out. Like, don't let people like think your ideas are stupid or silly. Like, that shit's a superpower. Yeah. And I read it to the kids. They laughed so hard. And I went back to my office later that day and I was like, dude, fuck this, man. I'm just going to illustrate it myself and self-publish it. And in the first like 2 weeks, we sold like 300 copies of the book. Like, I'm not retiring by any means off the book, but it's just such a testament to like, just go ship it, man. Like, just ship the goddamn product that you have. But I have mixed reviews on the book you were saying because it's my first book that I ever published. So it's like
Just self-critical.
It was just bearing my soul a little bit. And I got one troll review that was like, this was the dumbest fucking book I've ever written. I've ever read. And I was like, oh, you piece of shit, bro. Like, it hurt my fucking feelings. The book is good if you've never started a business. If you've started a couple side hustles before, it's very elementary. It's like it's for person number one, like your first thing.
Yeah.
So I ended up making a video just telling that guy he was a huge prick, and I sold like 100 copies of the book because of it. So I take the trolls and I turn them into, ways that I can, show people to tell those people to go fuck themselves, which I think to your original question was like, how do I use that on social media?
Yeah.
It's kind of like this is Deric. Like I'm not different for different people. Like this is just who I am. I say fuck a lot. I believe that trolls are little bitches, and I think that you should go do the things that you want to do. I think a life lived without doing the things. Everyone has a passion, and I think to live a life without doing it is like such a miserable waste of your time on this earth. And that's just what I do. Like I just speak my mind, and I talk about what I find myself doing a lot is gravitating towards helping people feel normal. And I get a lot of parents that message. It's been this really cool paradigm shift because I'm just like, I'm just a fucking like dude that does comedy, like mediocre comedy. And I get parents that will occasionally reach out to me a couple times a week, and they're like, your video like made me feel normal. Like you made me not feel like such a piece of shit parent, because I'm going on there and I'm posting satirical. I just had a video on Insta, and it's so funny now because I've had so many videos get like multiple millions of views where it's almost like normal. Like I don't like fucking flutter over 1 million views. It's still super cool, but it's not like that first one.
Right.
It's like, all right, cool. Like, all right, I'm validated. I do this all the time. But I posted this video. It's a super short clip. It was like 5 seconds. And it's just me kind of sitting in front of my counter. And I put an overlay of text that says, a message to parents having a hard day, with a little red heart after it. And I flip this note around, and it says, tomorrow's going to be hard too. LOL. And on Instagram, it's at like 13 million views.
That's awesome.
And I got this lady from Newsweek that reached out to me on LinkedIn yesterday, and she was like, hey, we're going to write a story about this. Like, can I send you some questions? And it published today. Wow. And the biggest thing was like, parents resonate. Like, they don't want the perfect aesthetic. It's like, all right, Barbara, great. Like, you get up and milk your fucking goats in the morning and make homemade from scratch pancakes for your 18 fucking children. Great. I'm sorry that I suck dick at being a dad and a husband. It's like, it's cool. Good for you. But it makes parents feel like they're not doing enough.
Yeah.
So the content that I do is like that. For example, that video that I posted was absolute fucking a gut punch. But I had so many parents being like, well, at least I laughed. Yeah. And that's the mission. It's like, can I make you smile and like forget that like you're judging yourself on a daily goddamn basis?
It's something to be serious about what you do, but not take yourself too seriously. Yeah. And I think that's a big part of it. You got to enjoy this life. Yeah. There's been stuff that's been in social recently about kind of profiling people that were extreme life enjoyers. I think that's maybe the terms they use. And I get that, man. You're not here for very long, and it's good to enjoy life in its fullest, right?
Yeah, and it's just baby steps. Yeah. Like, you can't just like decide one day of like, oh, fuck, I'm not depressed anymore. You just got to find like the one little reason to find something to enjoy. Right? Like, I'm such a different person than I was 5 years ago. 5 years ago, I wasn't even doing anything on social media anymore. Like, I wasn't posting. I had deleted Twitter. I was very much leaned into this grow the fuck up now, Deric. I was 20. Actually, it was long. Oh shit! I forgot I've left corporate America for years now. I joined that tech company doing sales in 2016, and at that moment, it was just like, all right, dude, you didn't make it. You're, whatever. I can give myself negative self-talk now. I don't know if it was prevalent back then, but like, all right, dude, you're not funny. Like, go be a fucking corporate America man now. Just go do it. You fucking give up, bitch. So I wasn't doing anything. And fast forward 4 years, I had everything I ever thought that I wanted. I was making like $250,000 a year. I had a brand new truck. We had a beautiful home. We still do have the house, but I had everything I thought that I wanted, and I was fucking miserable. I for the first time in my life, and still to this day, the first time only, I had like such a severe panic attack. One day I thought I was having a heart attack. Yeah. I laid down next to my wife, Brooklyn, and I couldn't even talk. Like, I had to whisper to her because any louder than that I couldn't handle. And it was the first time in my life I empathized with people that have that problem recurringly, like true mental illness that like they can't live. And it was that moment that I just knew I was like, something has to fucking change, because I'm living a life that I'm a really firm believer that the universe will give you signs in your life of if you're on the right road or not. And I think that I had flown by so many yellow lights that the universe was finally like, a bitch, listen to me. This is not what you're meant to be doing, motherfucker. So I started the chocolate company.
Yeah.
And that was kind of like that, or I maybe started taking it more seriously, but it was St. Patrick's Day. I made a silly little chocolate video, and it went back then viral, like got like 10,000 views, and I was like, oh shit, maybe I am funny. And it was fun, and I loved doing it. And that was like my baby step. Like I didn't go from that video to the next day having 1 million followers on social media. It was that video to the next video to the next video, doing all sorts of different shit, but just expressing me. And the one more thing that I'll share is like, when you go viral on social media, we are such a pick-me culture now. Like, I'm so, like, people do the fucking dumbest shit. People were cracking eggs on their kids' heads for views. Like they're toddlers, bro, like cracking eggs on their head, and they're crying and they're posting. It's like, are you fucking out of your mind, bro?
Eggs are a lot harder than they look on the video.
Bro, and like the thing, it's like, maybe I'm just a soft dad, but like I see a toddler that is like, oh fuck, my mom's including me. It's like, oh, I should have known. She's just doing it to get attention on the internet. And it is, dude, it can suck you in. Like attention can, especially for someone that performs and like does comedy, like obviously like I love attention. But I posted a video, I think I was mentioning it to you earlier, I was returning a car to Enterprise back in 2021, and I answered their phone, and it went fucking ridiculously, but like 25 million views on TikTok. I was on like, not me personally, but like radio stations from across the country were playing the goddamn audio. And I had this, for 2 weeks, I was like depressed, because I was like, am I supposed to replicate this? I'm 30 years old. Am I supposed to be the fucking guy that now goes to stores answering their phones like an absolute dickhole? And there are people that do that. Like if they go viral, you'll see their next 10 videos are trying to find that again. They chase it.
Yeah.
Fortunately for me, I recognized and accepted, no. I thought that one time was funny. That's why I posted it. I'm going to just keep doing what I think is funny.
Yeah.
And if people want to stay, cool. If this helps me build an audience, cool. But I'm not going to pander to what I think people like. And it's turned into like me. Yeah. I do what I want to do. If you don't like me, totally cool. There's so many fucking other people that will one day.
Yeah.
Period.
That's good.
That's
Drop
awesome.
the mic.
You gotta live what you do, and you gotta live in the moment, right? And the other thing is, it seems like you've redefined wealth.
Oh my God,
right?
Dude, that's such a fucking beautiful sentence.
Right?
Yeah. Because making $250,000 a year or whatever, like hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, didn't feel like wealth at the end of the day. It didn't. Cool. I had a bank account. I could, we could do whatever the fuck we wanted whenever we wanted. But I've had, especially these last couple of years, I've redefined. I just want to survive now, and not like in the sense of like carnal survival, like don't eat my kids kind of survival, but like if my bills are $6,000 a month. How can I make $6,000 a month and not have to become a slave to someone else, right? Like, I've got the book, I've got the children's book, I get paid on social media, I do people pay for customized videos of me telling them to go fuck themselves pretty much. I make middle finger stickers. It's like, if any given month, I have created, the original concept for this book was money moons. Like, I don't need to go find one person to give me $100,000 a year. I need to go find 8 things that make me $100,000 a year. Dude, I have never been more free in my entire life.
Personal mutual fund, and you're not relying on any one thing.
I've never been happier.
Yeah,
like,
I love it.
Dude, Wicked Bold, we're in 2,000 stores, and I think a lot of people from the outside in, either that have never done it or whatever, probably think that I'm like so busy. I work like 20 hours a week. I'm so dude. I go home at like 11:30 in the morning and like chill with my kids. I'm done. I knock it all out in the morning. I record videos whenever I want. And that's like my life, and it's so cool. I'm still kind of coming to terms with it, like, because I still have that like hustle culture embedded in me. Like, especially when I joined corporate America, it was about like, how can I grind? How can I make as much money as possible? I'm going to be answering emails at 9:00 at night. Now it's like, now it's noon, motherfucker. My day is over. My day is over, and I get to just make videos. And some days are, some days are easy, some days are hard, some days I'm still in my head. Like, like right now, social media is a very crazy place to be. Like, how the algorithm works and what they serve to people is like, on TikTok, I think I'm at like 830,000 followers. It doesn't mean that every video I post gets served to those many. Sometimes I post a video, it's at 10,000 views, which is super cool. Sometimes I'll post one that's at 100,000 views. Some weeks I'll go and a video won't cross 20,000 views, and I'm like, all right, this is it. the road's over. I'm not funny anymore. I'm never going to have another idea. I can't tell you how many times I was like, fuck, those are all my ideas. I'm done. And then another one comes.
Something will pop in your head.
You know, I post a video where I'm like, tomorrow's going to be hard too, bitches. And now I'm in Newsweek. You know, it's like, it's just so silly. And it's easy to compare and get jealous. You know, like, you know, you look at other people that are getting like these crazy brand deals and they're like flying to Los Angeles and shit. And it's one of the biggest things I've learned and still learning is just to be patient with you've got to love the process.
Yeah.
And every day, as long as I love posting a video, as long as I love being funny and feeling good about what I'm doing, I have to just trust that the future holds cool things for me.
Keep doing the reps, right?
Yeah, so
keep doing
it.
I really enjoyed, you made some commentary this morning in an event we had, the coffee crawl, where you said you don't think about 3 years or 5 years out. You're kind of in the moment, enjoying in the moment, and things are going to take care of themselves. I think there's something to that, because a lot of times we get way caught up with what's the next 5 years going to hold. Just be willing to accept the journey.
Well, I think what people struggle with is trusting themselves.
Yeah.
You know, like, are you going to be able to figure it out? And I know it's really easy to say, like, historically, you know, you've never like lost. You know, I had a buddy of mine tell me once, he was like, Deric, you experience failure, but you are not a failure. And it was like such a powerful thing to hear someone else say to me, because you just got to trust, like, all right, like, I've never pushed myself into homelessness before. Like, I can't just imagine that today's the day. Like, oh, now it is. And dude, things are tight. Like, I'm not balling out of control by any means. Like, we are still almost very much like month to month. But every month, man, we figure it out. You know, like, we sell more chocolate this month, or we get a brand deal that comes in, or I invent middle finger stickers and we make money doing that. It's like truly the world is my oyster. And I feel like especially these last few months, I'm just trusting the process and trusting myself that, like, you have done it. Like, you're here. Where else do you want to be? You're living the dream.
My sense is, too, if you ever get to the point that you're kind of off of that edge, you fall into complacency. And that's a dangerous place for people like you to be.
Yeah. I think the way that I say that is that what keeps me driving is I always feel like I'm at the beginning of the race.
Yeah.
I've never felt like I'm almost done or like, I'm almost at the finish line. I still, to this day, I'm at the very beginning of my journey. And that's such an exciting way to live life.
It is.
Like, I have a bunch of social media followers. I have a pretty successful chocolate company. I still find ways to convince myself that the gun hasn't even gone off.
Yep.
Like, I'm not even fucking running yet, but I'm still stretching, bro. And how exciting is it to live life knowing that, like, you're like, I enjoy what I'm doing right now. I haven't even fucking started yet, dude. And it's so hard to get to that place. Like, it's not like you can't just decide one day, it's like, oh, my life's amazing. But you've got to start doing amazing things if you ever want to live an amazing life. Like, I think, I don't know if I said it on here or during the event this morning, but one of the things that I live with is like motion causes motion. Like, if you are miserable as fuck and you go every day to your bank job and you're like, oh, let me deposit that for you. And then you go home and you're like, let me fucking chug a bottle of bourbon and watch my fucking, my soap operas. And then you wake up and do it again and again.
This is why we drink during work.
Yeah, you know, nothing. What do you think is going to, you think someone's going to be like, did you want this business? No, you're gonna fucking die of old age having done nothing, and that's to be inspired. I know that's probably not inspiring, but like,
I love it.
Just
I
start,
agree.
do something that you love, and trust that it could be years from now, but it will unlock things about you and unlock opportunities that you would have never thought possible and would have never happened if you just kept fucking depositing people's checks. And I'm not saying quit. Don't quit. That was another fallacy I had. Like, in order to start a business, you had to quit a job. Oh my God.
You exemplify the side hustle, ergo the book, but start while you still got the security of whatever you're doing.
One of the first businesses I ever started, I treated my early mornings as my time to start that business. It was, what the hell was I think it was a tech support company. Like, we called it Zimney. It failed miserably. But I woke up at 4:00 in the morning every day for months. And I would listen to podcasts. I would read articles on entrepreneurial. I would just like soak in the knowledge. And I looked at those hours of like 4 to 8 a.m. every day. I gave myself 20 hours a week to go learn to start a business. I gave myself a part-time job. And I think that's another perspective shift that people should like lean into more. It's like, one of the biggest fucking excuses. I don't have time. It's like, bitch, go fuck yourself, man. What do you mean you don't have time? Wake up early.
Right.
Go to bed late.
Yeah.
And I'm not hustle culture either. I'm not saying go like work yourself to death, but you can't find an hour a day to go lean into the shit that you. That's such bullshit. It's the same thing with money. Oh, I don't have enough money. It's like I started, and this isn't a me thing either. It's like it could be different for anyone. In this book, I tell people go start a fucking airplane company. Right off the bat, it's like, oh, you need millions. No, you don't, bitch. You need to create some really cool branding and start a wait list. Because if you just go, hey, I'm going to start this jet company. Will you give me $5 million? No, go fuck yourself. But if you go, hey, I'm going to start this jet company. I have 15,000 people on a wait list to work on this jet company. You think someone's going to give you money? Maybe. I mean, maybe not. Go fuck yourself. But like maybe. And that's what this book is about. It's like it finds your lowest common denominator. How can you go start something today? Remove the excuses, remove the roadblocks, and just go do it. Like there's nothing stopping you. But people stop themselves out of whatever.
It's their own constraints.
Yeah.
The only constraints that matter are the ones you're willing to accept. Right?
Fear of exposing yourself, fear of failure, fear of looking dumb, fear of your family and your nana telling you that you're fucking, of course, you're just like your father, you piece of shit. You know, just go do it. Be like your dad. Go be a piece of shit. And then when you're successful, be like, fuck you, nana. Fuck you. Pass me the gravy. Happy Thanksgiving.
We could go on, but we probably ought to land the plane. Huh?
So you're familiar with our land the plane question, which is, go back in your time machine, give your younger self advice. You've probably answered that twice now.
It's probably different every time, too.
So you know what? We'll revisit again, get a third answer from you. Go back however many years to whatever point, benchmark you want to set for your younger self. What advice would you give your younger self?
I actually think I remember what I said last time, and I think I'm going to give it again, which is nothing. I wouldn't say anything to younger me because all the experiences, all the shit that I went through sat me right here.
Sure.
And I fucking love where I'm sitting, dude. To live like that is to have like regrets. And I know you don't intend it to be like a regretful type question, but dude, like, there's a bunch of shit I could maybe like, I'd maybe whisper in my ear, be like, dude, you're going to have a hot fucking wife one day. Like maybe things like that. I'd be like, what the fuck was that? But no, dude, like all the mistakes, this is a great way to end it. All the mistakes I've made, all the utter failures, all the times I've been on the brink of losing everything, all the times I've felt like absolute dog shit, gave me the tools I need to be successful right now. If Wicked Bold was my first ever venture, I sure as shit would not be where I'm at right now because I would have learned all of my lessons with Wicked Bold. But instead, I learned one lesson when I was 18, another one when I was 21, another one when I was 24 because I don't know if I knew it back then. I can articulate it now, which is I stopped caring what people thought of the ideas that I had. And I would just go do it. And they would fail miserably. And guess what? No one gave a fuck because they didn't give a fuck in the first place. No one was in line being like, oh my God, Deric started a business. Let's go. No, they were like, oh, that fucking idiot. They didn't even know when it stopped working. I just was still, no, you're just like your father. Which I'm not, by the way. But yeah, dude, it's just like, I think one of the greatest gifts that you can give yourself is to accept yourself. Accept the shit that you fucked up with. Accept the piece of shit you may have been in the past. Accept the mistakes you've made. Accept you. And then what you'll find is that is your biggest superpower.
No doubt.
Because when you love you, now you can love other shit and not worry about the judgment that people might cast on you because dude, I say fuck all the time. If you don't like me, cool. I don't need you. I love me. I love my ideas. I love what I'm on the pursuit of, and no one can ever take that from me. So when you accept yourself, you take the shackles of expectations off of yourself and you're ready to just live life today. God, that was beautiful, bro. Am I like Walt Whitman?
That was great.
Damn, Edgar Allan Poe.
Yeah.
Well, your challenge now is we would lose our mind if this got 20 million views. So figure out how to make that happen. But where can people find out more about Wicked Bold, about the books, about you, and whatever other amazingly funny stuff?
I really should have like one good landing page, but I don't.
Give it to us all.
As
We're
good
ready
as you
for
might
it.
think I am in marketing, I'm not. I stumble my way into it. I'm on TikTok. If you enjoy vulgar and funny satirical videos that sometimes inspire you, is at BoldFam, BoldFam. Instagram is just my first name _ last name. I'm not going to spell it for you. but it's right there.
Deric Calhill.
The children's books on Amazon. Have you ever had a silly idea? Chocolateswickedbold.com. We're national at select Walmarts and Sprouts stores. Or LinkedIn. I respond to nearly every message, which for some reason shocks people. It's like, bitch, I'm like, what are you talking? I'm not Brad Pitt, bro. Like, what are you talking about? Send me a message, bro. I'll respond to you. So yeah, like if I actually love it, dude. Like, I drove 5 hours here to talk to, your crowd at the coffee shop, dude. I fucking love it.
We're glad you didn't have a better grasp of geography.
Same.
Well, if you hadn't shown up, we missed out on a lot of fun.
I hate traveling, hate it with every fiber of my being. And I was talking to my wife, Brooke, and I was like, on Sunday, I was like, man, it's such a long drive. What should I do? And she was like, go. I was like, all right, I'll go. Not that I was going to cancel
Thank
you guys,
Brooklyn.
but I needed her to give me a little nudge because I love it when I do it.
Yeah.
It just traveling is like, but I loved it. It was good to be here.
So glad
great.
to have you.
Yeah, dude.
Thanks for
fucking
coming
drive
on.
5 hours anytime.
Absolutely.
Thanks
You
for
win
coming,
the
Deric.
award. You're a three-time.
Drove 5
Yeah.
hours to be here. Donated a bunch of books, chocolate, middle finger stickers. Like, am I
You're
the startup
pretty
junkies at this point? Am I a member of the team?
You're pretty awesome. Thank you.
Absolutely, guys.
Thanks,
Thank you for
Deric.
having me.
Thanks.
Ecosystem builders, entrepreneurs, chambers of commerce, mayors. If you're interested in taking your economic future into your own hands, we've got a book that can help you. Creating Startup Junkies, Building Sustainable Venture Ecosystems in Unexpected Places is the guide. It's a little bit inspiration. It's a little bit toolkit. What it will allow you to do is take your economic future into your own hands and build a sustainable small business, innovation, and entrepreneurial ecosystem in your backyard. If you'd like to hear more, check out creatingstartupjunkies.com. The Startup Junkie podcast reaches over 100 countries and has had over 100,000 downloads. If you're interested in reaching some of the most motivated and engaged innovators and entrepreneurs on a worldwide basis, give us a shout.